Squad. My name is Charmaine. Welcome to the corner of the internet where we talk about everything motherhood, lifestyle, and child, anything else that I want to discuss. If that sounds like something that you're interested in, make sure you drop your blue hearts in the comment section below, and also subscribe to my channel. Oh, if you have not watched my last vlog, make sure you go back and watch that vlog and then come back, because we're going to be talking about everything cruise preparation, how much we spent, and everything that we could have brought to make our experience a little bit better. From our last vlog, we went on vacation with Carnival Sunrise. We left May 12th and we returned on May 17th, and we flew into Miami from Atlanta, and then we flew back in that Saturday. So we had a full week of travel with a toddler, and y'all, it was a lot. So let's get into the total, because I don't even want to make this video so drawn out. So for a family of 3, so that's 2 adults and a toddler, we spent $2,927.72, and I'm gonna break everything down for you guys. So for flight, round trip for all 3 of us was $370. So the fortunate thing is CJ is not 2 years old just yet, so he was able to just sit in our lap. But child, we should have purchased him a seat, because our son is almost 3 feet tall and he's almost 30 pounds. So trying to juggle bags and juggle him was a lot, but we survived it, and it was an amazing experience. It was my mom and CJ's first time flying, and it was everyone's first time on a cruise ship. So my mom ended up getting an upgrade, and then CJ and I was on the seat together. My sister was behind us flying. So we did fly Spirit. This total is not included with our baggage fees. So let's just add another $65 with Spirit, and then another $35 with Delta coming back. One of the downfalls flying with Spirit is that you have to pay for your flight, your seat, and your luggage. So the fortunate thing about all of that was we purchased these book bags off of Amazon, and I'll make sure that I'm linking everything down below, so if you guys are interested in it, you could be able to click the link in the description box and it'll take you right directly to that link. But we purchased these book bags. They're 17-inch, and it is considered a personal item on Spirit. So one of the things that a lot of people stress, to make sure when you get up there and say, hey, this book bag is my personal item and not my carry-on, because with Spirit they charge you for a carry-on. So we end up having 2 book bags along with CJ's diaper bag, which we use as a 3rd book bag. So 3 book bags and 1 large suitcase going to Miami. And the fortunate thing about it was when we came back with Delta, our big suitcase that we paid $65 for, it was only $35 returning with Delta, and we did not pay for our seat selection. But the good thing about it, baby, God was on our side. We all sat together. So my mom coming back, my mom was at the window seat. I was in the middle with CJ. Jeremy was on the end, and my sister was on the seat right next to us. So thank you, God. But let me reel it back. Let me not get too ahead of myself. The next expense that we put in to place was our hotel. So like I told you guys, since we're coming from Georgia, the Atlanta area, we wanted to come in a day before. So we got there, I want to say around about 10 when we landed, and we made it to our hotel around about 12. And our hotel room was $108.93. We stayed at Comfort Inn or Comfort Suites. I'll pop it up and I'll link it down below. It was about 8 minutes from the hotel. It was nothing, you know, spectacular. We just needed somewhere to stay before we got on the boat, because we didn't want to spend too much money beforehand, because we had already spent a lot of money as far as like the preparation to even go on the actual cruise. So Uber total was another kind of up there expense. The Uber total was $210.79. And if I'm not mistaken, we still came out cheaper if we were to park at the airport and all of that. We took an Uber ride to the airport, which I scheduled, and then when we made it to Miami, the hotel that we stayed at actually had a shuttle that ran every 30 to 45 minutes. So we was able to get from the airport to our hotel for free. and then from we took another Uber the next morning to the port, and then we took an Uber from the port back to the hotel, and then back to our home. So like I said, that total expense was $210.79. We did use Lyft. I know I'm saying Uber a lot, but we used the company Lyft. A miscellaneous on the actual cruise, we spent $135. So this could be drinks, my fiance going to the casino, stuff like that. Those are the miscellaneous items. Now for our cruise, our total cruise cost was $2,103. Now we did get a balcony room. We just wanted to experience that. I had already experienced it myself before, but my fiance have not experienced it. Of course, CJ hasn't experienced that as well. So we just wanted to experience a balcony on the Carnival Sunrise. So that's what we did. And so that's what made the fee a little bit higher. If I'm not mistaken, my mom and my sister total combined, they end up paying like, let's just say $1,600. So there was a huge difference from getting a balcony and having an interior room. And I will break down everything how the cruise charge. So the cruise fare was $1,653. The required cruise fees and expenses was $153.90. The government taxes and fees was $296.10. Prepaid gratuity was $160, and then we had a bonus onboard credit of $100. So we did have to put down a deposit of $297, and then our balance at the end that we had to have paid by February 26th of 2025 was $1,966. So I want to go back up to the prepaid gratuity because they already have charged all three of us for gratuity. Gratuity is essentially $80 per person. Yes, I know CJ is a baby. Yes, I know he's not ordering room service, not drinking alcohol, not doing none of the things, but they still charge us a prepaid gratuity for $160. Now, I don't want to get in the whole little argument spiel, and I don't want people arguing in the comments about whether you should take your prepaid gratuity off on your cruise or leave it on. I'm gonna tell you what we did, and you can tell me what y'all did, and we can leave it at that. So we decided to take our prepaid gratuities off because at the end of our cruise, we left our waiter and we left our stewardess a good tip. You know what I'm saying? And we're not the type of people that required a lot of things, so we didn't necessarily need a lot of things. And when we did purchase drinks or stuff like that, we tipped accordingly. So that's why we took our gratuity off. That's our personal preference. Y'all do what y'all do. I know a lot of people, they leave it on and tip. But baby, we have to work with what's best for us, and the people who serviced us, those are the people who got the tips. I'll leave it at that. Now I want to get into the things that we did not need while we were on this trip. So we brought an over-the-door organizer, over-the-door hanger organizer, whatever it's called. We brought that for the trip. We did not need it. With us being in that balcony room, we had so much space. It was ridiculous. So we end up not even using it. And we also brought the wrong plug-in outlet, so I'll make sure that I link the right one down, because the one that we had from Dollar Tree and the one that we had around the house, it would not have worked. So we ended up bringing the wrong one. Also brought a lot of medicine. Now this could be like a good and a bad thing. I'm gonna just put it as something that we didn't need, but when I tell y'all, we bought medicine for everything, like every inch of the body that could possibly hurt, we bought medicine for. One thing that I am really glad about, we end up bringing enough medicine for CJ, because that first day on the cruise, he was not feeling too too well. He was teething so bad. So I was thinking that he just had his canine teeth that came in. But this past week, when we took him to the doctor again, he ended up having an ear infection and he got 8 teeth coming in at one time. So we had Tylenol, we had medicine and stuff for him to kind of help soothe him. But after that first day, he was good to go throughout the rest of the trip. I think it was just, you know, us being on a plane and then us getting on this boat and all of that. His little body just had to get used to everything. But for us, we bought so much medicine, from Motrin, Tylenol, ibuprofen, Icy Hot, Biofreeze, several first aid kits, the motion sickness medicine. We had medicine for everything, and it was really just a waste of time. And not only us having medicine, but my mom had medicine, and then my brother and them, they had medicine. I wish we had coordinated a little bit better to be like, okay, hey, you bring this, we bring this, and y'all bring this, to make it a little bit easier, because all 3 of us having so much medicine, it was just unnecessary. Talk about the things that we actually brought on the cruise that work, and I would say you need to bring them. The pop-up hamper, just go to Dollar Tree, you get it for $1.25. The pop-up hamper saved us a ton, because we just didn't want to throw our dirty clothes and stuff on the floor, but we actually had a designated area for our clothes to go in, and it just sat right there on the side of the bed. It wasn't in the way of anything. So make sure you bring a pop-up hamper. Poop spray. Now, with us being on the ship, especially Carnival Sunrise ship, and I'll get back to that, but make sure you have some poop spray if you're in the room with other people. Just have some, just in general. But that was one of the key things that we love. We had our poop spray on hand. Hand soap. Now, the cruise ship do provide a bar soap, but them bar soap, it's nasty. You know what I'm saying? They're sitting on the counter, you picking it up, using it, and you putting it back down. You're not rinsing it back off. Just get you some hand soap and bring some hand soap. What we did, I had those 3-ounce tube. I just got some hand soap from the house and just put it inside of our suitcase, and we was good to go. Also, along with hand soap, bring some dish soap if you have a toddler. So we had to hand wash CJ's bottle. We wasn't able to sterilize it, even though we did have our sterilizer bag, but our room didn't have microwaves inside of it. So we had to make sure that we hand wash his bottles every single night. So make sure you have some dish soap. Sunscreen. I cannot stress making sure that you have a lotion type sunscreen and also a spray on sunscreen, because look, it's hot out there. That heat, the sun is different when you're out there in the middle of the ocean, especially if you're going to be out there sunbathing or if you're just going to be chilling on the deck. It is hot, so make sure you're protecting yourself. Fortunately, we did not get sunburn whatsoever, but my sister did, and I don't know how she got sunburned when she used sunscreen as well, but she did. So just make sure you have 2 forms of sunscreen with you: liquid like the lotion and also the spray. Portable fan. Now, you can ask for a fan to be delivered to your room, but there is nothing like having a handheld fan while you walk around on the boat or on the islands that you're going to be porting at. Like I said, it is hot. The heat, the sun is different. So make sure that you have some form of portable fan. Visor hat. Now, I wish I had a visor hat. My friend girl Audrey that was on the cruise with us, she had a visor hat, and the back of it was fabric because she had braids on her hair, so it wasn't like the material that you just pull apart. It was actual fabric, so it was made for people of color, which I absolutely love. And I would say I got 2 more things that we had as a group, because I asked everybody in the group that we had, was make sure that you have some type of fanny pack or a smaller book bag, because you're going to be carrying so much stuff, and especially if you have a toddler, you're going to need diapers, wipes, bibs, pacifiers, toys, stuff like that, your fan, and you're going to want to put everything on you and not necessarily leave it in a room, so you won't be back and forth to the room. Now, the number 1 thing that I would say that saved us throughout this whole entire trip was getting a scooter for my mother. So we went through the company called Scoot Around Town. I'm not exactly sure where they're all located at, but I know in Miami and Fort Lauderdale, they are there. So if you're cruising to, if you're cruising out of those ports, I'll make sure I have their information linked down below. If you're going to be traveling with an elderly or a person that just can't stand or walk for like a far distance, just spend the money to get a scooter. It was only, I want to say $300, maybe $320 by the time we actually got it, and it was good for 5 days. We was able to pick it up at port. They dropped it off there, and then we gave it right back to them at the port, and it helped us tremendously. Now my mom has had 2 knee replacements, so her just walking out willy-nilly was a non-negotiable. So I was like, look, we have to find something that you can be able to get on and you can go and not just feel so confined to your room. Okay, so let's get into the segment of things that we should have brought during the cruise. Now, like I said, this is not only coming from myself, but this is coming from the other 5 people that traveled with us as well. We wished we had brought some walkie-talkies. And the crazy thing about it, my fiance, he actually had walkie-talkies that we could have brought, because we did not purchase the internet package. My brother and his girlfriend did, but we had no real form of communication with anyone because we didn't have walkie-talkie, and we didn't want to purchase the internet package because it was just a little too expensive for us. And we was like, look, we here on vacation. Yeah, we don't need to be talking to the outside world, so we needed to bring walkie-talkies. And if you don't want to have walkie-talkies, I will say get a dry erase board and put it on each one of your doors so you can leave messages. I know a lot of people do that, so you can leave messages for everyone. So it wasn't the communication between my mom and our room because we was right across from each other. It was more so trying to find my brother and his girlfriend because they were all over the ship. So if you have the money to splurge on some walkie-talkies, do that. If not, go to Dollar Tree and get y'all some dry erase boards and put it on your door so you can leave messages being like, hey, we're going to the comedy show at this time, da 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 da. That's it. Another thing that we should have brought, and the only person that brought it is the person who wasn't necessarily walking, which was my mom. I highly, highly, highly think that everyone should bring water shoes. I don't care if you're getting in the water or you're not. Just because if you're going to be walking around, y'all, those floors are wet. Especially if you're walking around on the deck. You have people in and out of the pools. You got kids in and out of the pool. They're doing their best by mopping up. But y'all, your girl almost slipped out there on the dance floor. But if I had some water shoes, I would have been good to go. So next time, I'm just going to splurge and get me some $10 water shoes and call it a day. Bring casual clothes for the daytime. Now this I know is kind of self-explanatory, but for me, myself, and I don't know, for some reason I was like, I am dressing up. I'm bringing all the colorful things in my closet. I want to be cute 24/7. Baby, it was too hot for that. So I would recommend bringing casual clothes or athleisure wear to wear throughout the daytime. If you're not a swimmer, I'm not a swimmer. I'm not getting in the pool that much. So I didn't really need swimsuits. I bought one swimsuit. That's all I needed. But if you're a water person, bring a swimsuit. But if you're a person that just want to casually just walk around, bring athletic wear or just casual clothes and save your dress up clothes for the evening. Now I will say, because I know on my vlog I said there's nothing wrong with having your natural hair, and baby, these twists have been in my hair since we got back from the cruise. So I'm going on 2 weeks with this twist in my hair because I did not get any type of protective style for my hair. So please get your hair braided up or get your hair done before the cruise, because I had to do my hair every single day. And in a few of the video clips and photos, baby, it was an afro. I did not care. It was too hot. I have 4C hair. The humidity was humidity on me. Another thing that I would say to bring is laundry pods. Now it's not too expensive to do your laundry on the ship. For us, it was $3.50 to wash. wash and $3.50 to dry. So that wasn't too bad. And fortunately, my sister had some laundry pods, so we was able to do our laundry and we was able to pack everything up, which was a blessing for me because when we came back home, I did not have to do any type of laundry. Thank you, God. I asked everyone in our group what they rate the whole overall cruise experience. I didn't ask them to go into too much of detail because they was able to help me compile this list. So for my sister, she rated it a 7 out of 10. My mom rated it a 10 out of 10. Y'all, my mom had a blast, baby. She already ready to go on another cruise. I had sent her something from Margaritaville, you know, just sending it to her. She was like, she called me. She was like, come on, let's go. I was like, girl, I'm joking. My brother, he rated it a 9 out of 10. Now, he did say that some of the people on the cruise was a little rude. So he did tell me that. Audrey, she rated it a 8 out of 10. The bar closed when the club closed. So I think the club didn't even open till 12 o'clock. And I think the club closed around about 2:30. So she didn't like that the bar closed when the club closed because they did purchase the drink package. And let me just say that the drink package at the time that they purchased it, I don't know if it was $75 or $80, but it was one of those two. So let's just say it was $75 per person per day. So if you're gonna get the drink package, everyone in your cruise cabin must get the drink package. That's one thing that we did not like, but everybody in your cruise has to get it. If they're under the age of 18, that's the only reason that they did not get it. So if you didn't drink, you had to get the drink package. But the good thing about it, it not only worked for alcohol, it worked for like specialty drinks like soda, coffee, teas, and all the other specialty drinks as well. But $75 per day per person, if you got it, go for it. But if you don't got it, you good. The drinks range between $15 to $20 after tax. So do with that information as you will. Jeremy, he rated the cruise a 10 out of 10. And I would say that I rate the cruise, I'd say a 8.5, 9 out of 10. Just because I was comparing it to when I went on Conquest back in 2018, 2019, and it was just a much different experience. It was a lot better. That ship was a lot bigger than Sunrise. And I also did not like the fact that there wasn't a lot of things for my son to do. So CJ, he's 18 months old, and he wasn't allowed to get in the water, even though we snuck him in there a few times because they did not want any type of swim diapers inside of the water. And he wasn't potty trained, and you have to be over the age of 3 anyway. There just wasn't a lot of things for him to do on this ship. So if you have little ones, especially if you have little ones that's under the age of 3 and they're kind of active like my son is, make sure you pick a ship that's going to have activities for him to be able to participate in, because we had to keep him entertained, you know. So that was just him running back and forth on the deck. I'm glad that we brought the iPad, but I necessarily did not want him to have to be on the iPad. And then when we stopped in Jamaica, got off on the boat, and he was able to get in the water there at the beach. But that ship was not kid friendly whatsoever. They did have a daycare service that you could pay, but I didn't want to do that just because I didn't want to leave my child with nobody. And with our group being the size that it was, he was able to be with family at all times, so that was a plus. All right, so that's gonna be the end of this video, but I do want to let you guys know I have a freebie in the description box for you guys. So if y'all are going on a cruise, I have a printable checklist for you guys inside of my description box. It is free. Download, click, 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 click. And yeah, we're gonna end this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any other questions, make sure you link it down below in the comment section, and I'll make sure that I answer it. And if you have not watched my last video, make sure you go back and watch that video. But I will see you guys next time. Make sure you drop your blue hearts in the comment section below and subscribe to my channel. Bye.